Hi there everyone, this is Tracy from Lavinia Stamps and welcome to another demonstration today. We're going to be using our masking sheets today and I'm going to create a really lovely background using the elements but also the stencils. And there's a technique that I came across just by pure accident that I thought was actually quite nice, so I'm going to share that with you today. So first of all, I just want to show you what I have done already, and that's just inked up, stamped onto the masking sheet, stamped onto the rough side. So we've got a shiny side and a rough side. So just stamp onto that. I've cut it out, so here it is. And then I've got a piece of multifarious card, and all I'm going to do is just peel this back now. There we go. So just give that a smooth over, make sure it's stuck down nice and well. And then when I peel that off after I've decorated the background, we can just match that by inking up and stamping in that blank area. I'm going to start with some nice light colours initially. So we've got our Sundance. I'm going to just go over the top. Now I do want to get quite a lot of colour onto this background initially. I'm not too worried about it being a smooth blended background, I just want to get some colour on. So it brings another bit of colour in as well. This is confetti, which is quite a bright colour. But let's add a little bit. So I'm going to pop that to the side for a minute. And I've got my stencil here. Now, what I did the other day, I was experimenting with our mystical sprays. These are the Mica-Infused ones. And I was just spritzing over the top. Anyway, I'd forgotten that the mica was already on here and it dried. And then I spritzed it with water and I was taking an impression off a card like this that I'd created using the elements, and I just wanted to bleach the colour out. But because the mica had already stuck and was dry, when I spritzed the water over the top, it activated the micas again and gave me such a fantastic print. So I'm hoping that will be the case this time. I hope that's made sense to you. So all I did was spritz with the mica spray and let it dry. That's all I've done on this now. So remembering which side that you did that, I'm going to now just add some water. And now I'm going to turn that upside down, hoping that it will leave a lovely impression. You've got to leave it on for a little while. Probably be better if you had a weight on it, to be honest, and let the colour just pull out. Okay, let's just see what we've got. the mica has come through with that gorgeous pattern on the background there. I really hope you can see that. It does look so effective when you're close up. So I've got my background sorted now. I'm going to add a few bits of foliage, some words, and then I'm going to stamp my little house. I'm going to start with Warm Breeze. And I'm just going to start adding some foliage around. I'm going to use Glamorous. Okay, and got some little ferns here as well. And this time I'm going to use the Twilight, so a little bit darker. But I'll use the other one on the other side, going the opposite way. Oops, missed that one. Okay, let's just stamp off, put some in the background. So I'm going to take the mask off now. Now this will still have it sticky, so pop it back on the paper and you can use this again. And now I'm going to ink up in the Nocturne. Okay, so it is a very detailed stamp, so just make sure that it is completely covered. And now all I'm going to do is just match up that area the best that I can, but don't worry too much if it's not, because we can go around it with some watercolour pencils afterwards, so give it a good press. Well, let's see. Hey, that was pretty close, that was. Okay, so we've got a very stark white house now with a nice colourful background. So I'm going to use my watercolour pencils now just to bring it to life a little. So there's shading already on this, so that will guide and help you where to put your darker colours. And you can go as colourful as you want on this, or you can go as plain as you like, or you could even just go black and white. It's completely up to you. Okay, so I've added some depth along the back here, so I'm going on the outside of the house just to add the shadow behind, and on here I've put the shadow over the top of the house, just on this one side. And by doing that, it just gives it more of a 3D effect. I'm going to make this a little darker under the roof so it acts as like a shadow. I'm just going to bring in a little bit of colour over the stones and the steps. Okay, what other colour shall I bring in now? Let's have a little bit of a green roof. As I said before, don't worry about blending your colours at this point with your pencils, because when you add the water it will take any lines away. So don't worry too much about that. Got a slightly darker green there as well. Just going to bring a little bit of depth in the doorway. Just go around the edge. Let's do a little bit of blue, just to lift it. Okay, I'm going to stop there. I can add more colour at any point, so all I'm doing is just adding a little bit of water to my mat, and using my paintbrush I'm just going to pop that over the top, and you can see instantly how all my lines just blended straight out. Now I'm going on the outside here where I've drawn a darker shadow behind. Let's dry that off first. I think I'm going to go a little bit darker again on these edges. Apologies for not talking while I'm doing this, guys. I tend to forget that I'm even on camera. I just get so engrossed with what I'm doing, I forget to talk. So just bear with me on that. You know, you kind of lose yourself, don't you? And I know I do when I'm colouring in. It's very therapeutic. So I'm going back with the paintbrush now. And immediately you can see how that's bringing that out just by adding that little bit more depth. It's really kind of 3D'd it. That's exactly what I wanted to do. It doesn't quite jump out last time, so just by adding that bit of colour. Okay, I've got my white Posca pen here. What I'm going to do is just add that white. just highlight a few little areas again just to make it pop out. I've got my yellow Posca here as well, and I'm going to just put a few little dots in. Okay, so we're nearly done. I'm going to add a few words. So I've got my Warm Breeze. I'm going to add word Faith. And I'm going to add the word Hope. And lastly, we've got a bit of happiness. I'm going to add a little bit of glitter. This is my glue pen, and all I'm going to do is just pop a little bit down at the bottom here. And I've got Mermaid Blue. Pop a little bit down there. You don't need a lot, but we want a little bit of a sparkle. So, just a different technique. Using the masking sheets, and as I say, I hope you can see that lovely background. Using that stencil, that mica pattern has come straight out on the back of that card, and I think that looks really fab. I do hope you can see it. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me again today. I hope it's inspired you to have a go. You take care, and I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.